Hey everybody, thank you for watching my videos. Today I'm tying up a jig. I don't really have a name for it. I went to a local fly shop and I bought some different colored jig heads because I was going to do some jig tying this past weekend. And so I just got a couple different colors, and so for today's jig, it's this one. It's a 1/16 ounce size number 2, which has to do with the hook size, and then a round head. You can use these for like the rubber silicone, bodies and stuff, or you can use them for fly tying. So, like I said, this one has like a chartreuse head with orange eyes. So the first one that I actually tied this weekend using those was this one. So I actually used yellow dubbing with a little bit of like chartreuse ice dubbing. I blended it together. And then there's sort of a light olive marabou here, and then some yellow marabou there. So tied a couple of these, and I thought, well, what else do I have? And so I went through, my stuff, and I tied this one, and this is what we're tying today. So it's a chenille, green and orange, and then some green marabou and some orange marabou. So, like I said, you'll need a feather of each. And then I don't know quite, what brand, what size, what anything about these. I was given a couple different colors of chenille like this. So I any will do, whatever you have. And then I'm using fluorescent chartreuse 140 denier thread. So that is all the stuff that you'll need. So got that secured on there. Yeah, that's secure. So first I put down a thread base. And I just go back to the start of the bend of the hook here, and we'll snip off that little tag end. And then what I try and do with the jigs that I tie, I don't know how much difference it really makes, but like a fish, its belly is lighter colored. So whatever the lightest of the two colors that I'm using, I put that one on first so that it's on the bottom. I don't know how much difference it makes. It's more of a preference thing, uniformity if I tie several of them. But yeah, I'll take some fibers. As you can see here, this is actually one of the feathers I was using. I just kind of get different areas. Where I take the fibers down here, it's really short, and so it's just kind of harder to hold and put there, but it still works. So definitely use this and stuff. I was just using the longer, easier stuff, and that's what I'm going to be doing right now. So if you can see there, I just cut, I don't know, maybe like half an inch to an inch, 3/4 of an inch worth of fibers. And then I try and carefully sort of grab them together, and you lose some in doing this. But yeah, so, and then I just have them hang off the end about that much. So a loose wrap, and then you kind of tighten them down. It keeps it from being too loose and then falling out. See, there's some I lost. So anyway, that's, a couple of wraps there. So there, got the orange is brighter of the two, so it kind of matches the belly. And then so for the green here, I'll choose around the middle again, kind of keep them the same length, cut right along the spine of the feather. And then so I grab that and try and yep, just kind of lay up loose and then tighten it down loose. So, and then up here, I mean, all this loose stuff, you can go over it if you want to, like this, tie it all down. I mean, yeah, it may help hold it down a little bit better, but it's all going to be covered by the dubbing or the chenille or whatever you're using for the body. So right there, you got a fluffy tail. If you have marabou that has longer feathers, of course, you can use that. You could actually even cut it. I'm not going to, but you could cut it short right here and just have this like little tuft there at the end. I've done that with some jigs. It doesn't have more of a presentation in the water, but still works. So then what I would do, or what I did, is I would take the orange. It doesn't really matter, and I'm just going to tie it on here. Couple wraps there. Make sure it's secure. And then there's the green, same thing. Sorry if my hand's covering those up. Loose, and then tighten these down. Just want to make sure that these are secure. And then, I run it back to right behind the eye. Now, the length that I'm using, I would say this is probably like 7, 8, 9 inches of chenille. As long as you have enough to wrap around it, you're fine. These were pieces that were kind of already like loose in the bag that I have. So now I just go around. And I'm just wrapping enough, trying to make it pretty uniform. And on these jigs, as you saw, there was the little nub there that's used to hold whatever rubber or silicone. Yeah, you can still see it on your side. That sort of rubber or silicone helps to hold that on. We just kind of go over it. May have to wrap a couple more times. So a couple wraps in front, a couple wraps behind. And I just snip it off as close as I can. And then, so then what I did with this one is I would go around about 3 times. I would go immediately around here on the back. And then I would go right about, that's a little bit thicker on your side. Sorry, I'm getting in the way there. Okay, so there, and there, and then like 3 wraps behind, pull this to the back, 3 wraps in front of, or more. And so what you have there, there we go. So what you have there is basically, it looks like 3 orange and 3 green. So it kind of spirals. That's the idea anyway. And then what I do, and this is also preference, and I do this with several of the flies that I tie, is I just wrap a whole bunch around there. Yes, it does secure it, but it also kind of creates like a collar. In this case, it's chartreuse, and it blends with the chartreuse head, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. If this was, other colors, and you had a red tuft here, and then you have black chenille, and then red thread, and so there's red there, and then a black head, so it kind of segments it and everything. It works like that as well. I don't know how well it does, if the fish notice that kind of thing. I know with red here on the behind the head of a fly or a jig and stuff, it may look like gills. But anyway, so I like the look of a collar on it. And then I just do 3 half hitches there, kind of pull it a little tight, it gets a little snug, and then snip it right there. And something that I do that somebody had actually mentioned. I didn't think really anything of it. It's just something I started doing. And somebody pointed out, oh, I like that. And I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. And so is I put a couple drops of super glue, Loctite super glue. I put a couple drops on top of a piece of cork. And then I just dip it right there. And then I just kind of brush it on to the thread. I kind of just rotate it there. And so that way it's not too much, because trust me, I've tried, you put a drop of super glue right on it and stuff. It's too much. So I put it all the way around there so it secures that. And something that I noticed when I did this, and I did that drop, just kind of like see it, like would it seep around the thread, how I wanted and everything. And it actually got more onto the head, and I don't know what kind of paint these are. I don't know what kind of finish it is, or whatever sealant's on it or anything, powder coating, whatever. But this super glue started to like basically eat away the paint. It just kind of like the super glue turned, I forget what color I was working for. In this case, it turned green. And so I was just like, it never exposed bare metal, or lead or whatever on the head. So, heads up, if you, do that same thing, try not to get it on there. And other brands may not do this, but anywho, that's a jig right there. I think it'll do pretty good. Since it's a brighter color like that, you would use it like on a sunny day in clear weather, maybe a little bit kind of stained water, or maybe even a cloudy day. You really wouldn't use it in murky water. You'd use it just like a jig. You just reel it. You can kind of occasionally jerk it and see if that attracts any of the fish. So I appreciate you guys watching and everything. And also, if you've stuck around this long, I'm going to do a giveaway coming up soon. There will be a video explaining more about it, and what the giveaway entails. I know not everybody who watches me here on YouTube follows me on social media, but I did do a post on both Instagram and X with a sort of pixelated picture of some of the prizes that I'm going to include on the giveaway. So, but I also want your guys' feedback. Is there something that you guys would like me to include in the giveaway? So my idea is that I'm going to include some flies. I'm going to include some lures. I may even do like sort of a little mini painting, maybe a 3x3, maybe a 4x6, something like that. A painting that I did, a one-of-one original painting will be included with it. I thought that'd just be kind of something neat. And it'll be something fishing themed. Maybe it'll be abstract, like the colors of a rainbow trout, or something like that. But yeah, so I'm going to do a giveaway. There'll be more details and a specific giveaway video that is coming up soon. So definitely subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on that. I'm excited about it. I really think that it'll gain people's attention and stuff, and it's a nice way to give back to those of you who have been following my channel and liking the videos and everything. I really do appreciate it. I want to grow this channel. I got tons of ideas and everything, and but yeah. So again, stay tuned, subscribe to my videos, and thank you guys for watching.